What are Lambda functions in Python? In this video, I'll be explaining what Lambda functions are and showing an example to help you understand how to use them and how they can be useful. So first of all, a Lambda function is functionally the same as a regular function in Python. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I have a function add that takes in x and y as inputs. Then it returns x plus y. So let's print what add with an input of 4 and 5 gives us. So let's run this, and you'll see that we get 9 as expected. We can actually write a Lambda function that does the exact same thing. A Lambda function is denoted by typing lambda, then a space, and then you define your inputs here. So we'll do x comma y. Next, we add a colon followed by an operation that we want to perform on our x and y inputs. So in this case, we'll do x plus y. Now, Lambda functions can only have single line expressions. It is assumed that whatever gets computed here is what gets returned. So unlike our regular functions where we have to add this return keyword, we don't have to do that in our Lambda functions. So there we have it. These two here are the exact same. Now you'll notice that our Lambda function doesn't have a name attached to it. So how do we even call it? Well, that's the thing, you don't. Lambda functions are also known as anonymous functions, meaning they aren't bound to an identifier. Now we technically could assign this to a variable and use it, but you're much better off at that point just using a traditional function definition. But for the sake of showing you that these two are the same thing, I'll just assign this to a variable here called add2. And then I'll print add2 with 4 and 5 as inputs. So let's run this, and you'll see that we get 9 here as well. Now I could also just enclose this entire thing in parentheses and add my inputs here in parentheses and just print this whole expression. And you'll see this works as well. Okay, we understand the syntax, but what's the point of Lambda functions? How are they useful? So the whole idea of Lambda functions, or anonymous functions, are that they are made to be passed into a higher order function. So what's a higher order function, you may ask? Well, I could make a whole video on that, but essentially a higher order function is a function that can either take in another function as an input or return a function as an output, or both. So in my opinion, this is much better understood with an example. Okay, so suppose I have an iterable list of numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What I want to do is create a higher order function that can take this list as an input and also take in a function as an input, and it will apply that function to each item in our iterable. Now, if you're familiar with Python's built-in map function, I'm essentially recreating that function. If you aren't familiar, just stick with me, this will all be clear soon. So let's make a function called myMap that takes in a function and an iterable. So in here, we will initialize our result that we want to return as an empty list. Now let's iterate through each item of myIterable and apply myFunc to each item to give us a new item. Then we append this new item to our result list. Now at the end of this for loop, after each item has had the function applied to it, we will return our new result list. So down here, let's test out our map function. Now let's say I want to cube each of the items in my list nums. So let's do cubed is equal to myMap. Now we have to input a function and an iterable as our inputs. Our function can be defined with a simple lambda function. So let's do lambda, and we'll only have one input here, x, because up here in our map function, each item we iterate inside of this for loop, we're only dealing with one item at a time. So only one input is needed in our lambda expression. So then we do colon, and then we want to perform some operation on our input. So since we want to cube each number, we will do x cubed here. Then our second input is our iterable, nums. So let's print cubed down here, and let's run this, and there we go. Our lambda function was passed into our higher ordered function, myMap, and it was used to cube each item in our iterable. This was the intended use of lambda functions. If you like this video and you learned something, please let me know by leaving a like. And if you want more content like this, just click that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.